Well, the sky is falling and Eli Lilly is driving the train unless you're living under a rock, or hopefully this is not the first time you're hearing about this video, but Eli Lilly has sent out their dogs, their lawyers, their big guns to start sending bullshit letters to the telehealths and the doctors, and unfortunately some people are caving. Um, Friends of mine that rep for a not mine, but a very reputable telehealth company have shut the access off to Tirzepatide today, and they're bullying a lot of other places. And this is what's going on. So this is the letter that Eli Lilly has sent out. It basically says, we're Eli Lilly. What you're doing is illegal because we have declared that Zepbound is off shortage. And since we've declared that and we've reported that to the FDA, that's now the law. And you have, I think they gave them, how many days did they give them? 7 days. So they dated the letter on the 8th. So God only knows when they got the letter. They dated the letter on the 8th and then delivery, and then gave them till the 16th, have it in writing. So it's a very rush, get panicky, get them panic, make them sign something and send it back. Kind of like, you remember Aaron Brockovich when the people that were poisoning the water went into the town and tried to get people to sign the letters as soon as possible to basically F them out of further litigation. Feels like this is what Eli Lilly is doing to people that are running maybe a smaller operation that don't have a lot of lawyers in their back pocket, and trying to get them off the table as quickly as possible with some kind of signed deal. It seems very shady, very PG&E like. So that's what's happening. But here's the unfortunate thing is that one of the telehealth companies, people that I'm friends with, I know people that rep for that company that I'm friends with, they have stopped taking on new patients. So the fear has gotten to a couple of the big guys too. And that's what scares me. Here's the video.
With Zappy Health, I'm a board certified internist and oncologist. I rarely post on TikTok, as I spend most of my time with patients. The last couple of days, however, have been quite busy. As you might know, a private message that we had sent to our patients became public. It was widely shared, and I totally disagree with that because it's a violation of their HIPAA rights. But things happen for a reason, and here we are. In a previous life, I would have become a lawyer. My dad was a judge for 46 years, and I was raised to differentiate between right and wrong, and always obey the law, no matter what it is. For the better or the worse, however, I became a doctor, and now we're in the business of saving lives, not destroying lives. Surprisingly, however, after the message became public, my inbox got full of messages from competing telehealth companies. I got messages from big law firms offering to represent us. I got messages from small services that had been contacted by Eli Lilly. I said no, 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 and no. We are doctors, not lawyers. We spend most of our time making solutions that better the lives of our patients rather than getting involved in litigations. So instead of acting angrily or emotionally, I thought we would address the problem rationally. Eli Lilly is an absolutely fantastic company that has contributed so much to medicine over decades and decades of work. The recent medications, whether it's Tirzepatide or Retatritide, will come down in history as some of the best medications ever produced. So much so that I personally prescribe Zepbound right and left. We have paid close to $100,000 to develop a prior authorization system to help get access to Zepbound. So in essence, we are doing Eli Lilly's job for them. However, no one is perfect, and in this case, it appears that Eli Lilly has gotten slightly disconnected from the reality on the ground. They also are probably receiving bad legal advice. I am not a lawyer and I will not get involved in the legalities of the case. However, it seems that the consensus is that the medication remains in shortage, and as such, compounded medications are still totally valid. But this video is not about legal issues. This video is about how to help patients who need the medication the most. Eli Lilly and us in the industry of medicine are aligned. We both want the best for the patients. So what are our common denominators? How can we work together? Certainly the strategy of targeting the very same people who are prescribing your medications does not sound too smart, and in the best of scenarios is very short-sighted. The problem most patients are facing is very simple. They cannot afford the medication. Even in the event the medication is available, which is an absolute rarity, they cannot afford paying $1,100. Patients on Medicare, Medi-Cal, patients who are teachers, firefighters are excluded from the savings cards. $1,100 is an absolute burden on most families. To make things worse, most insurance companies do not cover the medication. So this is an open message to Eli Lilly. Please listen to the street. You have developed a fantastic medication that is unobtainable, unaffordable for most patients who desperately need it. Lives will be lost. People will die without this medication access. Hi, Dr. Michelle here with Zappy Health. I'm a board certified.
So here's what I know about Zappy, and I've heard all of this through the GLP-1 community grapevine. I'm not a Zappy patient. I'm not a Zappy customer. I'm just friends with reps from Zappy, and I'm just hearing collaborative information. And correct me if I am wrong in the comments, because I don't want to misrepresent a company that I think is reputable. I hear that they are not taking on any new patients, that they are filling scripts currently for their old patients up to 3 months, up to 10 milligrams. They're not going to 12.5 and they're not going to 15. And that way you can secure, what would that be, 40, 80, 120 milligrams in your refrigerator if you're worried about your medication. Excuse me. And our current patient, they're doing that. That's what they are doing currently. The other big guys, the other big reputable telehealth companies I can speak to, Pomegranate Health, that's definitely still writing new prescriptions. It's $368 per month for any milligram, any dose out the door. Other ones I have friends that rep for. Amble, I heard, are still writing scripts. Join Fridays, still writing scripts. IVEM Health, still writing scripts. Regenix, still writing scripts. We have not heard anything from the big pharmacies. Red Rock, Hollandale, business as usual is what they're putting out there. That's what they're putting out there, but it's always, remember, these are businesses too. Eli Lilly is just the monster in the room that we currently hate. Okay. Kind of like if you hate Walmart, but you love Target. They're both kind of the same thing, but one just has better ethics than the other on the people's perception anyways. But here's some light at the end of the tunnel for somebody who's official. It's not my opinion. This is from the CEO of the Alliance for Compounding Pharmacies, and this is what he wrote to give you a little bit of peace of mind for right now. The folks at Eli Lilly can't quite get it right. First, they crow for days about the drug being available again, the shortage is over, which turns out to not be true. Now we're learning that the attorneys are sending cease-and-desist letters to some physicians and other providers, misstating that the availability is what determines the drug is in shortage. Tirzepatide injection remains currently in shortage on the FDA shortage list at this time and has been there since December of 2022. So copies of it may be compounded. For the FDA, availability is not determinant of whether a drug is listed as currently in shortage on the FDA's drug shortage list. The FDA website indicates that the shortage is based on whether or not the supply can be met and of the demand of the drug. And at this point, the FDA is apparently still judging on the current supply of tirzepatide injection. The finished form of the drug has not yet sufficient enough to meet demands. Imagine that. Eli not telling the truth about something. That's crazy. Because they've never done that before. Like when they bought the patent for insulin and jacked up the prices to over $200. I don't want to, but I could live without Zepbound and without Tirzepatide. I could live maybe a shorter life because I'd be fat and obese and have PCOS and diabetes and all the other things that come with having obesity. But I could live in the immediate future without being on Zepbound. Some people cannot live without being on insulin. And they bought a $1 patent that the person put on patent to, here's a quote from Bernie Sanders. And people died. Or in 2009, when Eli Lilly settled one of the biggest pharmaceutical cases in government history for $1.4 billion because they were instructing their sales associates to go into nursing homes and teach the doctors to prescribe schizophrenia and bipolar 1 medication to old people in nursing homes. Remember, they're a for-profit company and they just had the biggest quarter ever and they have to make their investors happy. And this is billions and billions and billions of dollars in line. They don't care about you. The only thing they care about keeping from getting how fat it is their wallets. It's not your waistline. Keep that in mind. The one thing that you should do right now is if this might affect you in any way, you should subscribe to this channel, share it and like it, and get this algorithm going, because this is the one time in this weight loss community where we truly need to stick together and we have power and information and knowledge. And if somebody knows something that could affect you, we need to be able to pass the torch on to everybody, and we need to stick together. The one thing you can do is, first of all, subscribe to the channel, like and comment. The next thing you can do is go into the description and look for the link that says report the shortage. Call your Walmarts, call your CVS, whatever, ask for Zepbound or Mounjaro. And if they tell you that they don't have it, that's on back order, go online immediately. You can do it every single day and report the shortage. We have to let the FDA know that this is bullshit and it is in shortage. There's no way that the FDA could have access to all of the pharmacies, all the little mom pop pharmacies all across America, and make a proper determination on whether it's in shortage. They need to hear from you. So report the shortage, please. But here's the deal. Eli Lilly has pulled the alarm, and it's now up to you to find the exits, because obviously this is going to come to an end. It's inevitable. It's also the law that this will end. This was created because it's in shortage. It's been in shortage for a very long time. And you need to prepare yourself for what is your plan B. What is your plan B? I know a lot of people are dosing up as high and as fast as possible and just not measuring it out and stockpiling medications. I know that there are people that are doing that. Not suggesting you do that, but I know that people that are doing that to get as much as they can in the refrigerator. There are people that are multi-telehealthing. They're going to multiple places at once so they can have some in the refrigerator. Whether or not those can last a long time, or if they have preservatives in them that can keep them, the shelf life on them, I don't know that. I'm not a compounder. I'm not a pharmacy, but I've heard of that. What's your current plan? Maybe we can get some out of the box comments down below. Are you thinking about going to Semaglutide or Ozempic, Wegovy? Are you thinking about going that route? Personally, I'm not. I'm going to stay on Tirzepatide. It's working great for me, and that's just where I'm going to stay. But I will tell you this, is that most of Hollywood, if you see all these before and afters over the past couple years, like we've all seen, most of Hollywood, that weight loss was Ozempic. Just because Tirzepatide is a new kid on the block, and that's what we all want, because we want the best. And when Retatrutide comes out, I'm going to want to be on that because that's the best. When Viking Therapeutics comes out, I'm going to want to be on that because that's the best. I want to keep going with the science and go up and up and up. But that doesn't mean the old one doesn't work. I'm a couple additions behind on my iPhone, and it's still a great phone. I'm holding out for whatever. I'm holding out till September, but it's still a great phone. I know it's in an iPhone and medication are very different, and with other agonists. And if you have like any kind of cirrhosis or cystic fibrosis, like the Retatrutide has efficacy for that, and it's newer of the things it does. But if it's for weight management, Ozempic helped most of Hollywood it then. So here's what I'm willing to do. And this is what I'm going to do. Even though I'm going to stay on Zepbound, even branded whatever, I'm staying on Zepbound through this, no matter what. I know a lot. That's not the reality for a lot of people. And I can sit here and cite papers and I can cite statistics or clinical trials, but that's never going to give me a firsthand experience to what it's going to be like for a lot of you that are going to have to go from Tirzepatide to Semaglutide. So I've secured a box and a half, and I'm working with a provider to try to figure out what my dosage should be. And starting, I can't remember what the start is. I think it's the middle of next week or the end of next week. I'm going to transition from Tirzepatide to Wegovy. I'm taking one for the team because I don't think that I would have any kind of any understanding of anything that you're going through if I don't experience it myself. So I'm gonna do that for until that box and a half is gone. I'm going to have to dose it differently because of, I have to figure out what dose I should be on given the amount of milligrams that I currently take on Tirzepatide. So I'm thinking that the box and a half will last at least a month and a half, but maybe like 2 months. So I'm just going to try it as long as I'm comfortable with it so I can know what it's like and I can tell you what it's like switching from Tirzepatide to Ozempic. Now, here's the deal. I'm nervous about it. I genuinely am. And I have a lot of the same fears that people like coming onto Tirzepatide have from like all the stupid shit that you hear in the media. I'm nervous about it because I'm scared of the side effects. I know statistically side effects on Ozempic are higher than they are on Tirzepatide. And I haven't had any nausea. I haven't had any vomiting. I drink adequate amounts of water. I don't have any problems with constipation. I don't have a lot of the reported side effects that people have with both medications, but more so on Ozempic. And I'm actually like nervous about it. When I tell other people like, oh, don't be nervous, it's fine. But I'm legitimately nervous about that. But I think it'll be an interesting experience. And like just how everything is because I have the pain and the inflammation. Now if the pain comes back, I'm gone. You guys are on your own. I gave it a shot and I'm done. If the pain in my neck comes back, I'm going back to Tirzepatide immediately. Cease and desist. I'm out of the experiment. But I'm going to run that. So make sure you follow along for that because I think that's going to help a lot of people. Other things you could do, obviously, just again, I'm going to say it one more time. Report the shortage. And your social media post, hashtag report the shortage. We have to let the FDA know. Start coming up with your plan B. Get your finances and your budget in order to what you can afford to go on to because this may not be happening today. I don't think it's going to be happening even if they announce it today. I think you have 60 days from the day they announce. But you need to start figuring out a plan. Whether you can afford the $550 long term, if you're going to stockpile, whatever you're going to do creatively, you need to start thinking about it right now because, and I understand, I just want to take 1 second to get like a little bit sappy, and that's not me. I can't imagine the frustration if your constraints are that you cannot afford to go to brand or you're on Medicaid and compounded Tirzepatide is your only avenue. And you finally have found something that has worked for your weight loss journey. And there's a probability there's a very strong probability that that's going away. Not in the very near future, but the near future, that's going away and how frustrating that must be. And I'm so sorry. And I hear you and I validate you. And this is not fair because of some greedy ass corporation that can't lower its coupon by $100. That's literally what it is. $550, I pay $463 for compounded Tirzepatide. They could lower it less than $100 and we wouldn't even be having this horrible conversation. And then the conversation would be like, can Lilly actually meet demand for $100 a person per month? They're made billions of dollars in profit. That's why we're having this conversation. And that's why you're having that anxiety right now. And I'm sorry that we live in a country that doesn't fight for its citizens. And we're in the EU and Canada, they get it for affordable prices. Even if they're self-paying, it's more affordable than we get it here. And Eli Lilly is an American company, and they negotiate with other countries better. And it's sad. And I'm sorry for you. And you have the right to be mad. You have the right to be frustrated. And everything you're feeling, you have a right to all of those things. And I'm sorry. And we'll try to figure this out together. I'm going to pop on this Semaglutide and see if that works. And we'll see, and we'll figure it out. But yet again, this is not the greatest news. But I want to let you know that I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of how far you've come on this journey. And we're going to figure this out together. But keep your head up. It's not over till it's over. But be prepared. Have a wonderful day.